What's going on YouTube? OCD for EDC here, and what I got for your face balls today is an epic little mail call here, or unboxing. And we've got two different packages that we're going to open. First, I've got my camera up a little bit here because this is a fairly large package, and the unboxing knife that I'm using is this super sweet TwoSun TS-129 oval. Links are up in the description for this. This is a budget knife, and it is fantastic. The best knife you can buy for under 50 bucks, no doubt. It does come white and black, layered G10. I dyed the scales red, so yeah, that's what it looks like. But 14C28N, Wongding design, fantastic knife. So check it out in the description. Like I said, links are in there. Absolutely beautiful, and came crazy sharp out of the box. Yeah, gorgeous knife. All right, let's get into this thing here. So what I've got here for this unboxing, we've got one knife that is kind of a grail knife, I guess, if you will, and then we also have a tool. So this is something that I really just kind of wanted to check out. I saw it online, and I paid $28 for this package right here. So we're going to see if it was worth the 28 bucks. So you can already see what it is. And yeah, let's get into it here real quick. I guess size comparison. There's a Benchmade bug out. So the box is pretty large compared to that. And that's what the box looks like. Oh, here we go. Professional sharpener. The device is developed for sharpening a wide range of blades, including serrated ones. Huh. Alright, I'm not going to read all that crap. Let's just open the box and get into her here. Alright. You got a handy dandy carrying case, it looks like. So let's get the box out of here. And you've got a book. So this ought to be interesting. So I guess if you want to... Here, let me move this out of the way. I'll flip this on each page. If you want to pause and check it out, you certainly can. So you can already see what this all entails. So we'll see what all this comes with and if it's any good quality or not. For $28, my expectations are not really, really high. However, you know, I've been surprised before. So, all right, there you go. Little zipper pouch here. And you've got some sweet Chinese stuff going on there. That thing is pretty good size. Oh, got parts falling out. That was a stop collar. And I'm assuming this is a box of stones. So that was all that was in the bag. Oop, bumped my camera here. So let's take a look at the stones here. So you've got 4 stones. And okay, it does say they're grit here. So you got a 120. You've got a 320, a 600, and a 1500. So those are actually the really close to the 4 grits that come with the KME kit. The KME kit comes with a 140, a 300, a 600, and a 1500. So yeah, there's your 4 stones. And just to give you an idea, hopefully this goes, yeah, it does. So the stones are 6 inches by basically 8/10 of an inch. And they are just over 2/10 of an inch thick. So actually, if we do this, it's probably better to do this in millimeters. Little metric here. So we got 5 1/4 millimeter thick, 20.5 millimeters wide by 151.11 millimeters long. So there you go. And I personally do not have a KME sharpener. I do all my sharpening by hand. I do have a little guided work sharp guiding or guided sharpening system that my mother got me for Christmas, and it works pretty well. But I saw this, and I'll talk to you here in a minute about why I got this. So, okay, that's what came in that package right there. So you've got, looks like an extension rod. You got this rod here, which I think goes in the base. You got this handy dandy Allen key and looks like a number 2 Phillips. And then you've got the handle here. And you've got a spring and some stops on either side, which of course this is going to slide up and down so you can adjust that. And this is going to screw right into here, and it's got a jam nut to keep it in there. There we go. I think there was a little burr on the threads there. All right, so there's your actual sharpening rod. And then you've got this ball here, which allows, for all the angles of movement. There's no slop or anything in that ball, which is what you want. So all that looks pretty good so far. And I'm just going to stick that in there. Yeah, very, very little play here, side to side. There is a tiny bit, but it's really minimal. And yeah, that slides great. So like the little heim joint or ball end here, which is great. And then you got, like I said, some stop collars and such. And then here is the actual base. Oh, I got parts falling everywhere, people. Hold on a minute. Okay, so we got a screw. Oh, that looks like that fell out right there. And let me grab this. So definitely going to want to get some, screwdriver handles for these Allen heads here. This is, using this little tool sucks. But that's pretty standard for tools that come with stuff. And then you got a rubber pad that sits right here. And you got a clamp to clamp this onto a table. But the cool part about this, I was going to say I think it's missing a screw, but it's actually not. They threaded it into this hole here because that's your height adjustment rod that goes into that hole. So this goes into the vise end, like so. Okay, so there's your vise. Set that off to the side. You've got this nut here so you can tighten this up and, put it on the edge of a table. And, that may get changed or something. I may cut this off and screw it down to a heavy base or something. I don't know yet. We'll just have to see and play with it. But this is all cast. And the cool part about this one is you've got this right here, and that's what I was hoping to see right there was angles going back. So there's 0 play side to side, which is awesome. And then this is spring loaded and you can flip it. So just like the KME, excellent. So this thing actually, guys, is pretty nice. Definitely worth 28 bucks, but so this screws into here. And you got a wing nut there for a jam nut. And then you've got your height adjustment here. Let's just stick that on there real quick. Okay, so something like this. And then this is going to go right there. And then you got a stop collar that you can put on the other side. So, well, that stop collar needs to be turned around, but so there you go. There's your range of motion. And so, you know, you're going to come in here and actually, this needs to be moved. To something like about right there. And then this one needs to be moved to something like right in that area. So then, you know, envision a knife in here. You can go from here to here. Now, obviously, the relationship between this angle and this angle is going to be the angle you are sharpening at. Now, you're going to need an angle finder to, you know, accurately depict the angle, or you can just do the Sharpie method. But either way, guys, I'm pretty pumped with this. And so the reason I bought this is because for as much as I think that the quality is there on the KME system, really all you need is something to hold the knife stable. And this, so far, just from first impressions, looks like it's going to work perfectly. Now, the KME stones you can purchase individually. So if I can find this thing online, I'll throw links up in the description. If not, there you go. That's what it's called. Hang dang, Ruixin Pro. There you go. So search that and yeah. Ruixin, I'm not even sure how to pronounce that word, but that's what it's called. So, and it comes with the 4 stones. It comes with, well, everything you see here. And now it said that it could do serrations, but I don't see, it didn't come with anything that makes me believe that it's 4 serrated. But that's fine. I'm fine with this right here. You know, I can certainly adapt to any style threads that I need to, and I can get you know, a tapered rod and do serrations with that. Really, the reason I got this is because you really have to have a system like this if you want to put mirrored edges on a blade. You know, hand sharpening a blade, you're just really not going to get mirrored edges, or at least not easily. And so that's why I got this. And I just wasn't going to spend the money on a KME, guys. I just don't think it's worth the money. That's my own personal opinion. I know a ton of people love them. They look like a really great system. I just wasn't going to spend that much money for, you know, an 8x8 piece of wood with a piece of 1/2-inch rod sticking up through it. You know, it was like $30 or something. And then the whole clamp system, you know, I actually went through and looked at it. So the 4 stones that come with what they call the deluxe kit, the deluxe KME kit costs $225. And the 4 stones that it comes with are the Gold Series Diamond stones, and they are roughly the same size as these right here. So, because this is all adjustable, I have every intention of just getting the KME stones for this system. So I can buy the four KME stones, the diamond stones. You can buy the 3 higher grits, the 300, the 600, and the 1500, right off of KME's website for $63.95. And then you can buy the 140 grit, which the deluxe kit comes with. That one's $24.95. So a total of $88.90 for those 4 stones. And so that means that you're paying $136 for the little wooden handle, an 8x8 square of wood with a base, and, you know, the base with a 1/2-inch rod sticking up in the middle of it, and then you know, the aluminum clamp head, which of course this is the most important part right here. And this little slider here, this one, you know, appears to be every bit as robust as the KME. I have seen the KME and held it, messed around with it. I've never taken a knife from dull to fully sharpened with the KME. I've only just barely played around with one. And like I said, it's a very nice sharpening system. I'm not disparaging it at all, except for the cost. I feel like it, in my opinion, KME it would behoove them to offer the kit, the actual sharpening itself, at a much lower cost. You know, and when I say that, I'm talking like 75 or 80 bucks for the box and the, you know, the two wood portions with the clamp and the guided rod. You know, 75 or 80 bucks. They would sell a lot more stones if they did that. I believe that a ton of people would purchase it at that price. Basically, you know, kind of knocking the price of that in half for the actual sharpening system itself. And then you have a ton more people buying all your consumables, all the, you know, all the stones and all the lapping films and all the crap that goes along with it. So for this setup right here, I can purchase the 4 KME stones for $88.90 just for the basic 4, and I paid $28 for this. So, you know, I've got just over $100 wrapped up into it instead of, you know, $225. So I don't know, guys. I'm, you know, I feel, or I think I sound like I'm kind of ranting here or whatever, but I just feel like the KME kit is, for what you're getting, it's not worth the money. And all of them out there, I don't care which one you're looking at, whether it's the Viper or the, you know, all of the bases, I feel, are just way overpriced for what they are. Really, all you care about is the fact that the knife is held firmly and that when you flip it, that is perfectly 90 degrees in relationship to the rest of it. So I'll be checking this all out. I'll measure all this, and I'll definitely do a follow-up video on this, guys, and let you know how this thing works. And you know, if it's crap, I'll tell you it's crap. You know, it cost me $28. I was willing to take a flyer on it at 28 bucks just to see, and I figured if nothing else, I'll have this clamp that I may be able to utilize somehow. I was convinced that as long as, I'm going to spin this out just so I can have this in front of the camera again. I was convinced as long as they did these as an angle back instead of being a square notched cut, and as long as the spring tension is tight enough that you wouldn't have any, you know, play here. And that's exactly what they did. Those are angled cuts. So you've got a round pin. You can see it doesn't bottom out fully in the hole. So as long as that cut was made exactly perpendicular, you know, that this cut was made at 12 and 6 o'clock, which it sure as hell looks like, you know, it's right in line with the clamp here. So that part looks good. Yeah, I think it's going to be solid. And it certainly feels solid and robust. The screw, you know, you've got fairly fine thread on there, which for those that don't know, the finer the thread on like a C-clamp or a vise or something like that, the finer the threads, the tighter you can get it. I know that maybe doesn't sit well in some people's heads, but it's just the truth. So the more threads per inch that you have in this portion here, the tighter that you can get it. So it's not the finest threads around, but it's fairly fine. And so, you know, the knob looks to be good quality. I'm certainly happy for my 28 bucks. We'll say that. And it's fairly robust. Like I said, it's actually, I think I got a scale sitting here. I know I can't convey weight over a video, but I think this should be in ounces. So I'm just going to try to hold this end just to balance it. So there you go, around 100 ounces or a little over. Let me do this to try. Oh, there we go. Now we're getting the full weight of it. 145, 100, yeah, somewhere in that range. So, you know, it's substantial, I guess is my point there. And all the rest of it feels pretty good. It's kind of interesting. I feel like this was actually made for KME stones, because you can see here the stones that came with it are flat on the edges, and this thing actually has the angle cut in it for the base. So the base of the KME stones. So you can see these are just square cut. And so these are going to sit in there like so. And you can see right there that, you know, if this stone were on a base, it would sit up in that little notch, that groove right there, along with this side. So, cool. All right, well, it's what I thought it would be, and I'm pumped on that. So, awesome. Well, let's get to the other component of this. Let me set all this crap off to the side. There is one more piece to this unboxing video here. We're going to use the same knife, and it's this guy right here. And this is a knife that I have waited on for quite some time. I actually watched an unboxing video of it. A few people put it up yesterday. This is a knife that several people have been waiting for. And I got on the pre-order of this guy just because I really liked the looks of it and thought it was a cool looking knife. And here we go. Now, there's some packing peanuts. I was a little bummed out when I saw that it didn't come with the plastic, like Pelican style case. Everything that I had seen from Sharp by Design always came with the plastic Pelican style case. So I was a little bummed out about that. And like I said, I saw that yesterday on other people's unboxing videos. And you know, I feel like for the kind of money that this thing cost, again, I mean, it's sweet. I think it's sweet. I haven't actually put it in my hands yet. So let's get into her. That was a little anticlimactic. There we go. So this is the Brian Nadeau Sharp by Design Void. And this one happens to be in bronze and shred carbon fiber. Super cool. That's one thing that I was curious about, is if the pocket clip were going to be anodized or not, because I saw the two that I saw yesterday or last night, they were both natural titanium color, and the pocket clip was not anodized. And so I didn't know if it would be on the bronze or not, but there you go. Give you some sort of idea. Here it is with the Benchmade bug out. So you can see we're about that exact same size. Here we go, first flip. Nice. Seemed to flip well. Didn't rock it out, but there's zero blade play. Lockup is suitable. Looks like, you know, almost the width of the lock bar insert there. Now, Brian Nadeau has a very interesting, actually you can see it right there. I don't know if I got something to point down in there. Here we go. So, Brian Nadeau has a very interesting detent system. So, right there, you can see that little it's kind of long and sticks up. It's got kind of a little bit of a ramp. That is the detent. And, oop, I keep hitting my camera. Sorry, guys. And I'll do a full disassembly on this very soon. I don't want to make this video any longer than what it already is. I ranted too long about the sharpener. But you can see here this M390 seems to be very thin behind the edge. Let's get a few measurements on this guy. So blade stock is 155 thousandths, so that's going to be like 3.5 millimeter. And we've got, let's see here, right there, it's 20 thousandths behind the edge. 20 thousandths. Yeah, so we're going to call it right around 20 thousandths behind the edge. And I just thought about it. I should have set this up before, but we'll, yeah, and of course this isn't set up, but we'll check it out real quick just to see what we've got here for sharpness out of the box. All right. Put put this down here. See how well Ruixin did. So for those that don't know, this knife is made by Ruixin. And, you know, of course, they have a very good reputation. Hopefully, let me see if I can get this. All right, you can see that. All right, let's see what we're working with here. $265. So not terrible. Not the sharpest I've seen out of the box, but not terrible. It's still going to shave arm hair at that for sure. So really beautiful knife. You've got tool side pivot there. And I heard a few people like not super pumped on the pocket clip, but I think it kind of flows with the design. We'll see what it's like carrying it. But I do like the way the milling comes up around the pivot. Just looks nice. Looks high end, if you will. Action seems to be really good. I'm not quite sure how many wiggles it takes, but we're gonna get a for sure wiggle count on this guy. So that'll be for a later video. The Spidey flicking is perfect. Oop. And then I screw it up. There you go. Yep, it comes out very, very easily. Yep. So detent is pretty minor actually. It seems almost kind of weak. Yeah, I guess it's not terrible. Retention seems good. Make sure I'm not on. Yeah, it's not. You know, it doesn't rock it out. The detent with the flipper tab, it's light enough that you can't work up a bunch of pressure before it releases. Oh, see, and I just failed it right there. So now it does kind of feel like, I'm not sure what they have in here for lubricant, if you will, but it does feel kind of sticky almost. Feels like the blade wants to be even more free than that, but it's like the lubricant is what actually, yeah, I think the action will be greatly improved when I get this thing cleaned up. So it looks to be perfectly centered. I don't know if you'll be able to see it here. If you can see the line, because this is not an integral, but there's a line there. And it looks to be, the blade looks to be perfectly centered, which is awesome. So Stasa23 put up an unboxing video of this same knife yesterday. Now his is in green burlap micarta, which is polished, and natural titanium. So otherwise it looks identical to this. And I think the centering was slightly off, as well as his lock bar, the detent didn't stick down into the hole all the way. So he would shut it, and then he could push the lock bar over, and you could hear it go click, and it would fall into place. Now mine is not doing that. So let me try again. Nope. No movement there. So now, you know, his might just be a little piece of dirt or gunk or something that's holding that detent out. Let's get a weight on this guy real quick. All right, 3.49 ounces. And you've got, I don't even remember what the blade length is on here, but I'm about to tell you. .235. Yep, 2.235 inches for 3.49 ounces. So really nice. You know, it's contoured very, very well. Feels really good in hand. Certainly Spidey flicks well. You got meaningful jimping up here on the spine of the knife. It's a little small for my hands, but that's typical. So Let's get a size comparison here. So there it is against the Benchmade bug out. You can see very, very similar in size. And just to throw out another one here, here it is. Actually, I'm going to turn these over so the pocket clips are up. Here it is against the Spyderco Para 3 Lightweight and the Spyderco Manix 2. So there you go. I feel like that's pretty good size representation. And now Brian Nadeau, if you guys are familiar with his stuff, generally has a massive flipper tab that kind of is a diamond shape. I really like the geometry on the flipper tabs. I like how it flows with this area right here. This one, he's made the flipper tab much, much smaller than what he typically does. I can't touch the blade at all on the end there. I cannot touch it on the back either, so that's nice. Inlay work is beautifully done. I can feel it up in that corner right there, but it's really, really faint. I can't see any voids in the carbon fiber, which is really wonderful. So yeah, guys, Brian Nadeau, Sharp by Design, void, gold, shred carbon fiber, and Shing Shang Walla Walla Bing Bang knife sharpener. So there you go. That was my epic mail unboxing or mail call today. Hope you guys enjoyed this. We will definitely do follow-ups on both of these. We'll do a full disassembly and stuff on this guy and get her cleaned up and get the action hopefully improved and show off that cool detent system. So anyway, guys, thanks a lot. Have a good one. I appreciate you watching. If I can find links in the description, or if I can find links for this, I will throw it in the description. Definitely there's going to be links for this. You guys should go spend $45. This knife is epic. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Thanks. Have a good one, and we'll catch you next time.